Welcome to the Live Streaming Musician, brought to you by LottaHype.com. This channel was created to help you overcome the obstacles that you will face on your journey as a live streaming musician. My name is Tim Mahalik, and in today's episode we are going to talk about a basic live acoustic drum streaming setup. So let's get into it. Alright, so there are 7, potentially 8 pieces of gear that you are going to need in order to live stream yourself playing on an acoustic drum set. Let's go over those pieces of gear right now. The first piece of gear that you're going to need, obviously, is going to be a computer. Can't really live stream yourself doing much, especially in the music realm, without a computer. You can obviously stream from your phone, but it's not really powerful enough to handle all the audio inputs and other stuff that you're going to need in order to stream. So you're going to need a computer. You are going to need a good internet connection. You're really going to need at least 10 megabits upload. Usually, if you have something like cable, that's going to be an 100 megabit download, 10 megabit upload. It's usually, your upload speed is usually 1/10 of your download speed. I recommend trying to get a 300 megabit download and a 30 megabit upload. That way you have some headroom in case either it spikes or there's other people on the internet. But some places don't have that. 10 megabits should work for most streaming setups, at least in 1080. 1080-30 for sure. 1080-60 you're going to want at least 12 megabits of upload. All right, so after you have a computer, you got some good internet, what are you going to need next? You're going to need a camera, obviously. Can't really show yourself playing the drums without a camera, so you can get away, especially in the beginning, with a medium quality webcam. For a very long time, I used a Logitech C930. As you can see some of these videos right here, this is actually on a webcam. It looked pretty good. It's a 1080p webcam, 30 frames per second. I think it was, when I bought it, I want to say it was about $100. But you can get away with a medium quality webcam. I would try to shoot for a 1080p. Honestly, the C930, the link is in the description below if you want to check that webcam out. It's a fantastic starter camera. Now, the one I use is a Lumix G7. As you can see from my current live stream setup from this footage, it definitely looks quite a bit smoother. It's also 60 frames per second at 1080p resolution. So same resolution, twice as many frames. So it's going to be a lot smoother when I'm moving around the drum set. But granted, this camera is about $400 or $500. And you also have to have a really high quality capture card to take the HDMI output out of the camera into the computer. So all in all, it's about an $1,000, $1,100 setup. So if you're just starting out, I recommend getting something like a C930. Check something like that out. All right, what's next? You're going to need some microphones. Now, I actually use some pretty inexpensive microphones. Now granted, that's going to be one of the next things that I do upgrade in my personal live streaming setup, but you can get away with some budget mics for a really long time. Honestly, like there's a lot of really good hardware out there that's not that expensive. I use a 7-piece Samson pack. Link is in the description below. You can check that out. I think it's like $330. That comes with mics, cables, and mic stands and clips. An extremely affordable, medium quality mic set. And especially for what you get, I mean, $330 is super cheap. In, a good bass drum mic costs like $250. So the fact that you're really getting like 7 mics, now they're obviously not super high quality, but you can hear in the stream, like check this out. They don't sound bad. Now I'm doing a lot of processing on them, and we'll get to that in a second, but you will need a decent set of mics. I mean, I guess any mics will work, it really doesn't matter. But like I said, for $330, I recommend the Samson, at least as a beginner pack. It gets you all the mics that you need. Now you can get away with 2 overhead mics if you want to do something like a more basic mic setup, or if you have mics already, then awesome, use those. That's just what I'm currently using. You're also going to need a pair of headphones. Now I use in-ear monitors when I'm streaming on my acoustic drum set. You could use something like big cans like Bear Dynamic DT770s. I used to use those when I was streaming on my electronic kit for a while. But whatever you use, it doesn't really matter. You are going to need some headphones of some kind so that you can hear the music that you're going to be playing along to, or just any other audio that you might need while you're performing drums live on your stream. If you want to check out the in-ear monitors that I use a really basic set of Shure in-ears, and the link for those is in the description below. All right, so now that you got mics, what are you going to need next? Well, you're going to need a mixer. And at the beginning of the video, I said you might need 7 or 8 pieces of gear, and this is where that comes into play. So you're either gonna need a mixer interface in one device, and that's what I have, which is the Behringer XR18, link below, you can check that out. But essentially, it is a mixer and an audio interface. Now, an audio interface, for those who don't know, it just takes signal from mic cables, XLR cables, or patch cables like a guitar cable or an instrument cable, and it takes that signal into it, and it allows it to go into a computer through something like a USB cable. And so OBS, or your streaming software, is able to take the instrument raw data that's coming through either the instrument cable or the XLR cable from your microphone, and it processes that and turns it into a digital signal that your computer can actually use. So that's what an audio interface is, right? So it just takes the mic cables and allows your computer to use them. But you're also gonna need a mixer. So now you can use a separate mixing, like a mixer, which is totally fine. You can buy a little separate mixer. Let's say you had 8 mics or 7 mics on the kit and 1 mic for your vocal mic. You could plug in your 7 mics and your 7 kit mics and your 1 vocal mic into a mixer and then mix it on that mixer so it sounds pretty decent. And then you could take the mixer and pipe it through the outputs of the mixer and then take those outputs into something like a 2-channel audio interface. That would work perfect. No big deal. I opted to spend, it's really about the same amount of money is really what I ended up finding out. Because if you buy an interface, like I have a Complete Audio 6 behind me, it's like $200. And then you end up buying a mixer, you spend another like, I don't know, $150. So after tax, you spend like $400. And the XR18 does all of that for $500. Except I can mix it from my phone, I can mix it from any computer. You can essentially get into the mixer wirelessly using the software that they provide from any mobile device, any computer that's on the same network inside of your house. And so for me, I can dial in some of my stuff if I want to change settings or mute a channel or do anything like that. I can just do it on my phone. I don't have to go over to the mixer physically and change knobs or move dials, which for me, I just thought that was worth the additional $100 that I would have spent instead of buying 2 pieces of gear. The choice is yours, obviously, but you can check that out. It's in the link below. So the XR18, that's an audio interface and a mixer in one device, or you're going to need a mixer to put all of your drum mic cables into the mixer and then stereo out into an audio interface, and then the audio interface goes into your computer so that you can process that signal inside OBS. All right, so this last one is something that a lot of people overlook, and that is lights. As you can see in here, I got some pretty cool lighting, which definitely makes it a lot more enjoyable to look at, that's for sure. Here is what my current live stream looks like. And there is a ton of light in that room. I have 4 softboxes and an overhead LED light. And I still don't think that I have enough light in that room, because the more light you have, the better your camera is gonna work. Cameras don't really like operating in low light. You'll get what are called artifacts, where it looks grainy on the sides, and you really don't want that. It's not gonna be something enjoyable to look at. A lot of streamers can get away with a low lit room, especially if they're playing games and their camera's just a small little thing in a corner. But if you're streaming music, your entire stream is generally going to be 1 camera or maybe 2 cameras, right? And so you really want that room to be lit up so the camera isn't struggling, so the quality of the video that's coming through is really good. All right, now there's a couple other things that you're going to need in order to live stream yourself playing an acoustic drum set, and that is a way for you to read the chat box and the way for you to see stream alerts. When somebody follows your stream or somebody donates to your stream, you're going to want to be able to see both of those, ultimately, data sets, right? So you got a chat box over here, and you're going to have, if somebody follows you or donates money to your stream, you're going to want to be able to see that so you can be part of a conversation and thank people for following your stream or for donating money to the cause. So I use a 2-monitor setup in my current streaming setup. You can check it out right here. Now my 2-monitor setup, I have it so that I have a bunch of different desktops in a really cheap Windows laptop. I got this Windows laptop for $80 on Craigslist. I mean, it's really cheap. It's not very fast. Can't do anything with it really other than browse the internet, which is all I really need to be able to open up my chat, open up my stream alerts, and be able to play music from that laptop. And then the music that comes out of that laptop goes into my XR18. I mix that with my drums, and then I send that to the streaming PC to be piped out to the stream. Now, what I was just talking about right there, you are probably going to be playing alongside of music on your drum stream, which is awesome. But you're gonna really need to make sure that the levels of your music and your drums are always in a very similar range. You don't want some songs to be extremely loud and your drums are very quiet, and some songs are very quiet and your drums are very loud. Now, you can't really control the normalization of audio over the internet. Some songs are just louder than other songs. And when somebody requests a song for you to play, you're gonna click on that song and it's gonna be way too loud. So what I have done is I found a sweet spot on the XR18, which for me is, like I said, it's a lot easier to manage than something like a physical like outboard piece of gear like a mixer, because I can actually see all my levels and I can always make sure that they're in the right level. Now for me, I get it right underneath the 5 on my audio input from the computer. So where I'm playing music from, it comes in stereo into the mixer, and that audio, I always make sure that it's kind of in the same level, and I can use the volume on the laptop, or if you were playing music from your phone, you could use the volume on your phone. And then very quickly, in my streams all the time, I say, hey guys, I'm just gonna do a quick sound check. I just skim through the song, find a kind of loud part. I go and then switch back to the mixer software so that I can see where the actual sound level is. And once I find it, I dial it up or down based on the volume of whatever the device I'm playing the music off of, until that level hits my desired level. Because again, I've played enough to know about where the drums sound good with music at a certain volume. You'll need to do that on your own. You'll need to either stream and then listen to your streams back, or I recommend just taking a video in OBS, just clicking the start recording button in OBS, playing along to a song and seeing, are your drums too loud or are your drums too soft? And then kind of finding where they actually sound good together with the music, and then seeing where those audio levels are on your mixer, and then trying to get all of the music to generally be in that same range. And so I usually, like I said, I do a sound check, make sure it's in that range, then I start the song over, and then boom, it sounds great. You can play along to the song, and it's not a super big deal because your drums aren't gonna be too loud and the song isn't gonna be too soft. All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. There are a lot more videos in this series that you might wanna check out. So if you found value in this, please click the like button, subscribe so that you get further video updates from the channel. Hit that bell notification so you get notified every time I put out one of these super sweet videos for you guys to help you guys on your journey as a live streaming musician. Once again, this is the Live Streaming Musician, brought to you by LottaHype.com. My name is Tim Mahalik, and I'll see you on the internet.